So everyone's talking about Snow White. I think it's coming out on the 20th, tomorrow. Um, getting bad reviews and all that. And I mean, what do you think? I mean, if you hire or cast an activist or a feminist for that matter, saying that, we're just gonna rewrite Snow White. She won't be saved by the prince because the prince has literally stalked her. Weird, weird, kind of annoying person. But now Disney is actually scrambling. You're kind of trying to salvage Snow White. There was a history on that Snow White for to what it is now. Actually, uh, there was a case of hiring dwarves, which is Peter Dinklage apparently said that, oh, we're going back to the cave, whatever. We're going to cast dwarves and little men now. That's maybe because he didn't get hired, or maybe because he didn't get the part. Now he tried to trash the movie. That was way back. I think it was maybe three years ago. And then Disney actually maybe listened to their, woke advisors and started casting or tried to cast with people of, diversity. There was only one little person or dwarf or midget in there. Um, and now they got backlash s- saying that why would you not cast, little people, dwarfs and all that. So they were kind of so Disney actually settled to cast CGI dwarves, seven dwarves. So now that's what they went ahead with, you know. But anyway, so now, they're getting bombed. I mean, they're getting bad reviews to the point that no one's not a lot of people are going to see it. But anyway, this video is from Nedrotic Nedrotic Nedrotic. I can't even say that one. But he's going to lay it out on and comment about this train wreck and Disney scrambling to salvage Snow
They
White.
canceled the UK premiere in lieu of something else,
They
and they
did.
did a very closed Hollywood premiere where no reporters were allowed to ask any questions, and only specific people handpicked by Disney were allowed to even see the movie. This is what Disney does. So they get very friendly reviewers to go there and shout
Wait a
out
minute. That was
social media react.
maybe they cast the people little people to do the voice because I just seen that the famous midget famous midget in there. Um, maybe they did. I don't know. I gotta look that up.
Reactions. These are not reviews. These are
Gal Gadot.
technically called social media reactions, which were allowed to go out on Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
Reviews, actual reviews. The embargo doesn't end until noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, day after tomorrow. And it's fucking amazing, people. It's amazing. Snow White, first reactions, praise film as a visual feast and one of Disney's best live action remakes in years.
You really?
Ugh. So I don't know if I ever thought this movie was gonna flop. It certainly looks like it if you go anecdotally look at your local theater and see like how many
Who's
tickets are
booking it?
sold. But I could see it like doing like Little Mermaid. Problem is, it's tracking like the box office tracking for this weekend is pretty bad for a movie that cost anywhere between what 250 and 300 million. Disney will come out and say it was like 50 million. They shot this a bunch. They've retooled it a bunch. Disney's live action Snow White remake has finally been unveiled at the movie's Hollywood premiere, and the first reactions are trickling in and calling it a dazzling hit for the House of Mouse.
Well, of course you're gonna have people, you know, especially people that are woke and hate this anti-woke, you know, society that we have now. Well, they said anti-woke, but common sense people, you know, They're gonna write a view about that, and they control most of the media, you know, print and everything. And I mean, they spent millions of dollars trying to push this, this Snow White. They did a lot of this media presence and campaign and all that. So of course you're gonna get that. But majority of the people, they're not gonna see that. They don't care. They're tired of all of this woke nonsense that they're trying to push. There are people probably don't care, but I care. I mean, I can see it. That and she's not. I'm not a big fan of her, of that Renée Zellweger. What's her name? Not Renée Zellweger. Renée Zellweger is a different person. That person that played Snow White. Now, I'm not a big fan of her. I don't know who she is. I mean, she's young but am I going to see it? No. I don't have. First of all, I don't have any kids that young that would be thrilled to see. Oh, look, new Snow White. I've seen Snow White back in the day. Different type of variation of Snow White. Uh, so of course you're going to get that. You know, you're going to get that praising, and they're probably going to go into a campaign and push that to say you should go see it. Oh my goodness, it's such a good movie for a family and all that. That's common.
Variety film reporter, Variety film reporter. So the person for this is the first person they're going to mention, which interestingly enough is owned by Penske Media, which owns part of South by
See?
Southwest, Deadline,
Yeah,
Hollywood Reporter, Variety,
they own
IndieWire,
that.
Rolling Stone.
They own that, and they're on their, they have their own little world. That's why it's like the Emmys, the Grammys, and all that. They have their own little world that they, they function. That's why I think it was an Emmy or the Grammy or something like that. In order for you to be nominated, there are criteria. One of them is to, like, if you own, or if you have a son, or if you are a LGBTQ community. That's why you see a lot of this, a person. That's why you see a lot of this Hollywood elite. They have their kids are trans. They're like 2 year old. Oh my goodness, my kid's is trans. Look at, such a brave. That's because they get a point. It's a point system for them. That's right.
All the same fucking thing. Variety film reporter Stephen praised star Rachel Zegler
See,
as a
the
shining
shining
supernova.
supernova. Are you
Or as our good friend
serious?
Ryan pointed out on
Oh,
Geeks and Gamers Daily today. You know what a supernova is, right? It's an exploding star. It's the
yeah.
death of a star. Adding that the film is a
It's a death of a- that makes sense though. It is a supernova. It's a dying star because because of the supernova, because it exploded and you're just now seeing it, this bright star. But it's a dying star. That's right. But to them, the supernova means like the brightest, like the the epitome of being the greatest stars.
visual feast with show-stopping new musical numbers and, of course, dozens of enchanting animated animals. I love those CG animals. Holy shit. You were given this to say because no fucking critic on earth would
Uh,
praise CG animals. They would just go, they were there. They didn't look that CG. None.
to be
The
honest, I,
screen
I mean, some of the CGI actually back in 2000, I don't know, 2008, 2010, it's a lot better than the CGI that's being produced today. For some reason, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, you know. But yeah, he's right. No one's just gonna say, "Oh my goodness, the CGI animal."
play, oh, yeah, this is written by Disney, wisely gives its heroine, sounds like you're taking heroin, newfound depth. In other words, she saves herself. She is a resistance leader because we're back to resistance again.
Yeah.
And she becomes the leader her father believed she could be. And a love story that's sweet as apple pie. We were told that was being minimized. Maybe that's what the reshoots were.
So is that stuff the Prince Charming? Yeah. I mean, look at, and I'm not, it's just not, I mean, she looks like Lord Farquaad from, what's that haircut? Snow White is supposed to be, skin so fair that's like snow or something like that. So it's just like a Caucasian, white, white, white. So white that she doesn't know how to season her chicken. That kind of white.
Online critic Christopher Rates It wrote of the film Snow White, it's
Snow
not
White.
only their best live action remake in years, but it's
No,
also a film that recaptures the magic of the 1937 movie
it does
by,
not. It
wait,
does
I
not
thought
by
this was going to
far.
be different. Rachel is Snow White,
Rachel Segler.
and she
Yeah.
delivers such a magical performance.
See, that's how like I told you, that's who they are. I mean, they get paid to write this stuff. They probably got paid. And I'm gonna say more likely they probably got paid.
Why are you gay?
Filmhound's editor Paul Klein echoed the praise
Why are
with
you
one
gay?
caveat, writing that he may regret saying this, but Snow White is solid. I really enjoyed the musical numbers,
Is it now?
particularly the opening one and the Queen's Evil Bop.
You are gay.
Zegler was great in the lead role, and
You
Godot,
are gay.
because it's Godot, was fun.
It's good
It's
note.
really the CGI dwarves.
To be honest, it's like when remember that time that they did an interview with, Rachel Zegler was saying, saying all of that it's not going to be in 1937 because it was made in 1937 and it was evidently so. Remember that one, and Gal Gadot was there just kind of smiling and stuff. She's trying to go. Did you imagine what's going through her head? You know, and she does. Gal Gadot is, she's a good. Um, I love her on a DC film like Wonder Woman, and all that. But she's solid. She doesn't buy into this or her or like Rachel Segler's woke agenda about feminists, about anti-men or anti-masculinity. She doesn't, not that I know of. She does not. She's not one of them. So, and I'm pretty sure I can guarantee you that she'd rather be not there. I mean, she's probably thankful that she's being cast as the evil queen, but she's gonna be in there. That this movie is gonna be, it's gonna bomb, and unfortunately, her name's gonna be in it with it. You know,
That let the film down. The choice is baffling. Snow White is directed by Mark Webb, who directed 500 Days of Bummer and The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and is a reimagining. Well, I thought it recaptured it. Is a reimagining of Disney's 1937 animated movie that started the fucking thing. Is that all the fucking praise you gave it, by the way? So you like Variety writes this whole article on 3 reactions,
yeah.
and people are running with like, people love this movie. Fucking
Now,
so retarded. But that's the game we play. But I want to thank the Access Media. I want to thank Disney for being so fucking phony that it drove people to seek out authenticity or create it themselves. You know why? Like Tolkien wrote Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna paraphrase the man's quote. He wasn't seeing anything in literature he wanted to read, so he just wrote his own shit.
yeah.
When people are feeling like they're not really getting the
And she's
truth.
and Tolkien is she's being attacked. Or I mean the book, and but yeah, he's right.
They'll go find it. So thanks to the media, the corporate media apparatus for being a bunch of fucking liars and providing jobs for a
They
lot of
have
people
to.
or hobbies. It's great. It's great.
That's the thing.
Now we just point and laugh. So social
Yeah,
media reactions, there was 3
different.
printed in the Variety article, a sum total of 3. And Disney's trying to push that, no, these people are going to actually like this movie. And listen, theater owners.
Some kids like I said, you know, parents with their kids, they're probably gonna go see it. Kids that are, well, there's actually kids that are speaking up or noticing the difference. It's like how when that Ariel, remember, there was a black kid. There was a video on YouTube. I think I saw it. I don't know if it was a YouTube or Facebook, but um, there was a little girl, girl. She was like, "That's not Ariel." They, they're so and they can't, they don't lie. They're unfiltered, and they'll tell you the truth. Ask the kid, "Is this Snow White?" If you, you know, kids that has been that exposed to that original one, and then you show Rachel Zegler's dressed up as a Snow White, and you ask the kid, "Is this Snow White?" They're gonna tell you no, that's not Snow White, especially if they read the book or the description of Snow White.
Are desperate for this to be good. They need this
They
because
are.
they are fucked. Theaters are fucked. If this movie underperforms, that even if it
They already
overperforms,
are.
they're still going to be like orders of magnitude behind because right now they're right with last year, but they're going to be behind last year, and they're already behind 2023. But survive till 25, everybody. Survive until 25. That's what they said, but no, that's not.
No, and then that. I mean, they're gonna need some kind of a miracle. I don't know. I mean, given the history of it, and and how many times they tried to I think they rewrote the script. See, the thing is, there's people in there at Disney that think that they live in their own bubble, just like how Bud Light. Um, they probably get together and goes, "What do you think is people going to see? What do you think people like?" And in their mind, let's cast a Latina or a blonde person to do this. I mean, especially in America, that's just not going to fly. I mean, in the Philippines, I mean, there's a version of Snow White in the Philippines, but they're not brown. I mean, there are some fair-skinned Filipinos that played many, many roles. But anyway, all right, guys. So until next time.